You know how many legacies I swallowed? Today.
How did I write that joke? Well, it started here in a real world setting at the gym with my friends, just responding to what they said. So I usually will say something funny and then later on write it down. In this case, 2017, I happened to write it down on a Facebook status. So my straight friends were talking about having kids, and my natural response to the word legacies was, wow, I guess I've swallowed a lot of dudes' legacies. And I said this out loud in the gym, and a lot of people in our little section stopped and fell out laughing. So I remembered it and I wrote it down. The next part is figuring out how to say the funny part. So the funny part is swallowing legacies or talking about, you know how many legacies I swallowed. That's like the real joke. But like, how do we get to that point? So I had to work on like re-saying that joke over and over and over. And I did it in different settings around different people, sometimes at parties or whatever. I would kind of bring up the conversation of having kids or whatever, and then I would use the punchline to see how it worked. Now, performing it on stage is even harder because it has to be relevant in your set. So here you will see me trying out the joke a few times. Sometimes I don't get the wording right, and sometimes I bomb. But you got to practice to make it something.
The biggest thing now is dealing with people asking me, like, honey, when are you going to do something with your life? When are you going to settle down, build a legacy? And I'm like, if only you knew how many legacies I swallowed. My dumbass friends, right? Like, they keep saying stuff like, honey, when are you going to settle down, build a legacy? You know how many legacies I've swallowed today?
And it took me a few times trying, bombing, not getting it right, working on the pacing, the timing of different things till I finally had reworked my set to where I was doing these jokes about my dad. And it kind of just flowed. So I changed the joke from the people I was with in the gym to friends in general to my mom at one point to now it's my dad is the person who's asking me to settle down and build a legacy. And it just worked. And so I pretty much perform it like this all the time. I definitely have perfected it since the clip you're about to see, but it's pretty much how I went from an idea in my head that I just said in a room of people to performing it on stage.
You know, but my dad keeps saying, I don't know how my son turned out to be gay. It's like, yes, you fucking do. You used to always watch me get beat up, and you would say, stand up, son, take it like a man. Now I'm taking it like a man. And you want to act brand new, dad? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, son, you know, I just want you to have kids. I want you to settle down and, you know, build a legacy. You know how many legacies I swallowed? Today.